the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. On the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. On the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to TD Fans Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Please hit that like button on your way in the building. We're getting a little late night stream going. I want to give y'all my take on the latest training camp. We want to talk about Tua's new level and Jonathan Taylor coming to Miami because it's happening, and I'm going to tell you why. But make sure you hit the like button on your way in. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to TD Fans Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Shout out to all the members of the channel. Thank you so much for your dedicated support. Shout out to all the mods who handle the comment section and hold it down for your boy. And shout out to everybody who just loves this channel and enjoys the content that we deliver on a regular basis. I'm greatly appreciative to be the host of this show. And listen, ladies and gentlemen, we have a new home that you can all join so that just in case you'll have all the latest and updates on everything going on. I'm going to start using the Discord server on Monday. Okay, I'm letting everybody know about it now, so make sure that you sign up. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you so much for always supporting TD Fans Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Right now, I want to give you all the opportunity to join the TD Fans Talk Discord server. Yes, we have our own Discord server now. That way, you'll always have access to our Miami Dolphins community. That way, if you're not getting notifications for videos or you want to know what's going on or the latest, or just chat Miami Dolphins football, you can download the app and make sure that you sign up for TD Fans Talk Discord. The link is in the description of the video. Make sure you check it out, ladies and gentlemen. Again, let's enjoy the server and let's use it responsibly. Fins up no matter what. Peace. Let's go. Fins up no matter what. We got almost 200 people in the building, but we don't even have 100 likes. Let's hit that like button. Let's get on up to 100, ladies and gentlemen, because we also know that this stream is being brought to you by BetUS. BetUS powers this stream. Listen, they are our sponsor for the season. Now, remember, you have an opportunity now to receive 125% sign up bonus. The link is in the description of the video. Also pinned in the chat as well. Ladies and gentlemen, I already got my bets rocking and rolling. We are ready. Look at this. I already see, y'all don't notice some of them, but they're second to the last. I already got a little Dolphin bet in there. This is about $125 worth of bets. Listen, go sign up now. Get your bets in. They got sportsbook, racebook, casino, and so much more. Listen, the casino is actually pretty fun. It's you get to actually play free games, just FYI. But I know a lot of you guys want to log into the sportsbook. Remember, $100 deposit will help you receive 125% sign up bonus. Listen, I just want to go to the NFL real quick. Ooh, week 1 is already about to go down, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so excited for it. Y'all hit that like button on your way in. And I got all my free play. I'm trying to use my free play now since I done already made a lot of bets. All right, let me see here. Y'all give me 1 second. Oh, I ain't even hit the button. Let me go to NFL. All right. Give me a second. Ooh, it's taking a little time on me right here. Maybe all y'all signing up right now. Maybe everybody's signing up right now. Let me know. I want to know who you have this Saturday, though. Miami Dolphins or the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm interested in knowing who you all actually have in this game because I had to put my little props up and I want to see, what I should actually do. Shout out to Jersey Dolphin. He has been a member for 4 months. Said, and on the 7th day, God saw that it was good, and as he sat back and reflected on his creation of earth, some say you hear him say, Josh Allen, I can't deal with you. I cannot deal with you, brother. You're on a whole nother level with it. Man, it's in the Bible now. Josh Allen trash is in the Bible now. That is crazy to me. Listen, man. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, while I pull this up, while I get it rolling, I don't know why it's moving a little slow for me right now. Make sure, again, you sign up BetUS. I already showed y'all. I got some of mine already sitting there ready to go. I want to know about y'all. Send me on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. Send me some of your bets, all right? Let me know what you have on these games coming up. I'm very interested in finding out. But here we are right here. Let me go to it. Let me go to it real quick. All right, let's go. Let's find the Dolphins game. Here it is. Dolphins Jags. See, the spread is still the same. See, I'm going to be honest. I got to put a little more on this. Let me do that. I want to use my free play. Let me click free play. And let me go 25. I'm putting more on it. Listen, Dolphins +7. That means we don't even have to win. We just can't lose by more than 7. It's easy money for me. Yep. My bet slip is in, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what you decide to do in the comment section. Again, sign up for BetUS, ladies and gentlemen. You can deal with every team. You got parlays, you got sportsbook, and also, like I told you before, they also have the casino. Now, in the casino, you can it's pretty dope. You can play free games like you don't always have to wager anything. You can actually click on the free games as well and play those. So it's pretty cool. It's a little fun site, man. I've been really going through it, getting to know it and understanding it. Yeah, I really like it. I actually do. So sign up now. Again, I just want to make sure that my viewers take advantage of the 125% sign up bonus if you make a deposit of 100 or more. All right. So BetUS, official sponsor of TD Fins Talk. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we got to talk. We got to talk. Hit the like button, man. Come on. Don't do your boy like that. Punch that like button. Let's go. Hit that like button. Do they have live bets, Curtis? They have live bets. They definitely have live bets. They have it all. They have it all. Go check it out, bro. Definitely. And click on the link in the comment section. Click on the link in the description of the video. And for those who don't have it, let me go ahead and put it up for you real quick. Copy. It's pinned in the chat as well. Just FYI, because that's your code. If you follow that link, that way they'll know that TD sent you, and supporting our sponsors is supporting the channel. All right. OMG, Tua just tweeted, TD, keep my name out your mouth. Yeah. Listen, that whole Tua stuff, man. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I think it was fair game. I thought it was tasteless. I didn't like it, and I keep saying this to y'all. I am very critical of Tua. I'm one of the most critical people of Tua, but body shaming and insults and stuff like that, at least I don't recall ever doing that to Tua. I don't ever recall doing that to Tua. You gain a little weight, I might say, it is what it is, but getting on people appearance. Again, football player to football player is fair game. I mean, people joke and all of that. They were having fun on the show, but you can't have fun against Tua. Tua Non's going to come out here and crucify you. So, that's all it is. It was a little fun. I mean, you saw Mike Evans on Hard Knocks call Quentin Williams fat or something like that, and Quentin Williams was like, you hurt my feelings and all that. It's like I said, it's all fun. No, he tweeted you. Keep his name out your mouth. Hey, well, listen, Tua can tweet me all he wants to keep his name out his mouth. Tua. It is what it is. He's a professional football player. His name ain't exclusive to not being talked about at all. So that ain't something I'm going to do. Okay. So you can reply back to him. TD said no thanks. All right. But listen, Tua's good, man. I think he handled it perfectly. I think I really do. I think he handled it perfectly. I think he clapped back a little, but at the same token didn't go over the top or nothing like that. That's what it's about, man. Hey, you felt some type of way about it. You let it be known, but you didn't step out of pocket in the process of letting it be known. That's just all it's about. He's a class act, man. Tua, Tua don't mess with nobody. Tua's honest. Tua's everything you want him to be, except the franchise quarterback. Yet. Not to say he not, because I think he might be about to turn the corner. I like spicy Tua. I like salty Tua, because after that interception in the preseason game, he came down, with a beautiful drive. The last two practices, from what I heard, Tua's been cooking. I mean, I went to training camp and I didn't get to witness a single day of him cooking. I went to 10 events. I went to a scrimmage at our own stadium. I went to Houston 2 practices. I went to 7 Miami practices, and I ain't get to see Tua cook one day. And when I say cook, he just lit him up and didn't look back. It was no problem. He was really good. I ain't get to see it once. Now, the second practice in Houston, he was good. I said he was good. But when I say cook, y'all know what I mean. So, after that interception on in the second preseason game, he cooked in that second drive. First read all the way down the field, got it done. And I know people gonna be like, "You got to throw a dig." I mean, it was what it was. First read all the way down the field. That's a fact. But the last 2 days of practices, he been eating. He been cooking, and that's all you can ask for. He's always had moments where he cooked, but then he'll have moments where you're like, come on, bro. Then he have moments that he cooked. Then he have moments where he like, come on, bro. That's why I told y'all that preseason game last week we didn't learn nothing new. Tua was exactly Tua. He went and threw a pick. Then he went out there and cooked. You make a mistake, he go cook. I mean, and this is what I always say to everybody. Have we learned anything new about Tua this offseason? This is the one offseason that nobody can sit out here and be like, I see the growth other than his body. But, they ain't making a joke about it because, they out here. What growth have we seen? Tua is Tua. The only growth that you will be able to witness this year, if he does have growth, is playing his best at a consistent level. On a consistent basis. It's that simple. Playing his best on a consistent basis. That's it. That's it. Zach, leadership is saying that he improved in leadership. You missed me with that. Because I actually kind of was a little disappointed in the scrimmage when he was playing absolutely terrible. But then he decided after practice to get into his teammates. See, the one thing that I know about leadership, you got to be respected in doing your job at a high level before you can start barking at other people. I mean, it just absolutely makes no sense. Just imagine going to work tomorrow and the person next to you is just screwing up everything. And then they get on you about needing to up their game. I'm sorry. Leadership, one of the first things with leadership is actually holding down your own fort first. You got to hold down your own first. So all it is, look into his leadership. He got into his guys. If anybody in here went to that scrimmage, then he wasn't exempt from the problems that this offense was having. So this whole notion of leadership, there's certain traits everybody throw in every year for every quarterback. His leadership, his command of the offense, getting in and out of the huddle. We done heard that for 3 years now. 4, going on 4. So I ask again, what really have we heard that he's improved? What have we noticed as an improvement? X's and O's, football on the field. The reality is Tua is the same guy, but now we just have to rely on his improvement just being consistency of playing at a high level. We know that he can play at a high level, but now we need him to do it consistently and against top-tier competition. Top-tier competition. Yeah, I'll give you that. I'm not going to call it trash talking he's improved in, but sticking up for yourself. Yeah. That it does go a long way. Because truth be told, a lot of people feel like it's easy to make a joke about Tua without worrying about anything because he's going to brush it off. He's not going to make it a big deal. But I kind of like the little fieriness of sticking up for yourself and kind of calling it out and still staying in pocket. He kept it classy while calling them out. And he was right in doing it. He was right in doing it. So I say all that to say this. Don't expect more from Tua this year as far as, he's doing this now and he wasn't doing it before. Now, don't get me wrong. They're going to pull up some film every week and be like, look what he's doing now and try to make stuff. That's normal. Your real expectation for Tua is just to minimize mistakes, keep a low turnover count, and be consistent. I gotta be honest with y'all. I mean, we're having a real conversation right now. I'm not holding back. I'm telling y'all the truth. It's gonna be hard. First of all, keeping your turnovers so low, that's gonna be hard. That's gonna be hard in itself. It's gonna that alone, ladies and gentlemen, it's gonna be hard in itself. He had 8 last year, on pace for 11 or 12. So you're like, if he plays the full season, you don't want him to have more than 11 or 12, right? Which ain't great, but that's okay. That's kind of keeping it the same. But the truth of the matter is, man, it's gonna be hard. Somebody sent me a video the other day. They were like, bro, I swear Tua's just lucky, right? Matter of fact, I might have it for y'all. Matter of fact, I need to find it. I have it. Let me find it and put it up real quick, because it's important to put it up. Because people always, it's important too. I'll show y'all. Here we go. I got it. Let me put it on the screen. I'm gonna put it on the screen. It'll be more. Yeah. Let me do that profile. All right, let me see. That's my quarterback. All right. All right. Oh boy. And they might even hit me with a little copyright, but I'm all right. Let me see. Let me share my screen. Share screen. Window. So look, this is what I want to share. So this is what I be talking about with people. They say you can't count picks if they don't happen. You know, and somebody sent me this, said this the Pittsburgh game alone, and they basically direct messaged me, said I got 4 more games, I'll send them to you of a minimum 3 to 4 picks a game drop, right? Look at this. Well, let me mute the audio because I don't want to do that. But in this game, literally drop 4 picks. We just be throwing it. Look at this. Like, and that's why I say it's gonna be hard for him to keep him down. You can't sustain this level of luck forever. That's 1 pick. Look at this. I want to show you his head. Looking down the middle of the field to hold a safety, and he going to throw it without even knowing what's over there. Turn his head simultaneously. This is what I be trying to explain to y'all. I want y'all to see this. Simultaneously turns his head as he throws. I want you to see it. We're not processing. Somebody just asked me literally in the comment section before this stream, why are you always saying on his interceptions he's not reading the defense? Here's why. Simultaneously. Not looking, just throws. Just throws. No logic. He's trying to hold a safety, don't know what's going on the other side. All he know who he got over there. That's another dropped interception. Holding his helmet, that's 2. Another one. Across the middle. Another one. Overthrew the Gesicki. They mad they didn't get it. Rolls out. Throws. Another one. Dropped. This happens in every single game. 4. They showed you the context in this game. That wasn't a drop one right there. They just showed you the context. They go forward to show you the context of the game or whatever. But this is my point. It's going to be hard for him to do, like, I mean, the man is just lucky. I'm telling y'all. He's very lucky as a quarterback. That's why I just hope that he can minimize the turnovers. You can't tell where he's looking by this footage. Turn his head, LOL. Well, you know he ain't looking at where he threw. That's one thing you can tell. You don't know where he's looking, but he ain't looking where he end up throwing it. Not on that first one. That's for sure. But that's why it's going to be hard for him to keep the turnovers down, because people don't realize almost every game this happens. Almost every game this happens. Sometimes it is better to be lucky than good. I appreciate that, NL, and you're right. Sometimes it is. But the thing about luck, it always turns around. You keep on looking for it. See, this is about sample size. You could be in a casino. You could be playing blackjack. You could be playing poker. You could be playing slots. Whatever you play, you can have a lucky. You could be getting lucky and you just killing them like you lucky. But you keep on playing. Anybody that's ever been to a casino and lost your money, which anybody who's been there probably have, you know, anytime you've been lucky, if you kept playing, what ended up happening? What ended up happening? You be putting more money in the machine. You be trying to wager more. You out of there. Because that's the thing. He can't escape continuing to play. So you're going to be lucky, but all luck runs out until you're lucky again, and that runs out. So that's why I'm telling y'all. This is why it's a beautiful thing. I mean, they dropped every. I mean, come on. This is one game, y'all. Matter of fact, I need to see what did he actually throw a pick versus Pittsburgh. I need to see if he actually threw a pick versus Pittsburgh. Bam, I got the game right here. That's Kenny Pickett. I need the Dolphins. I need Tua. See more stats. All right. No interceptions thrown in that game. And Kenny Pickett had 3 interceptions, or whoever the quarterback was. He had 3 interceptions in that game. And we won 16-10. Could you have imagined if they would have just converted one of them or 2 of them out of the 4? You see what I'm saying? This is a game with 0 picks, but this is what really happened. So when you evaluate your quarterback and you start talking about these things, people think you're being a hater, but these are behaviors. You ask yourself, why did you throw it? That's the first one. Let's go back. That's the first one. Just dropped. Second one. Don't know why we threw it. Perfect defense. I mean, that's a pick all day. It's in the kisser. It's the easiest pick you can get. And he just bobbles it. Terrible hands. Next one, overthrows across the middle, straight to the safety, and he drop it. Is that Minka? And then the crosser, just like the other night. Got him. Same thing. 4 interceptions dropped. Sometimes it's good to be lucky. But how long does it last? I think, and yeah, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I'm being optimistic. I think Tua is going to be in this bubble this year where he just does his job efficiently, nothing special, but he does it so efficient that his numbers are good, his execution is good. We're looking at him as a franchise quarterback. Not nothing out the gym, but just get like, especially versus the best competition, just like I'm gonna be honest, I'm being hopeful, and I feel like that's his new level, and I think he's capable of it as long as he stays in that box. As long as he stays in that box. That's an important piece to it. As long as he stays in that box and doesn't try to get outside of it. Please. And somebody said Joe Flacco. You see what I'm saying? You ain't got to be a superhero. Yeah, there's going to be times where we call on you to make a play here and there, but it's not the end of the world. It's not the ultimate requirement. Just good. You know what? Go watch the first Buffalo game last year. That's it right there. That's the epitome of it, y'all. Especially if we get Jonathan Taylor, and I'm going to talk to y'all all about that. I'm going to talk to you all about that. Kurt Warner, exactly. Because the thing is, everybody, like, let me say this is where the argument comes. They sold us that Tua could be Mahomes-esque or whoever great. We already know that's a lie. What is the shame in just accepting that he can be a Flacco or Kurt Warner? There's no shame in that. But people want him to be more because as long as he's Flacco or Kurt Warner, there will still always be doubts. That's fine. That's fine. Somebody said that was his first game back, TD. No passes. I don't care if it was his first game back. At the end of the day, he out there playing. Y'all listen. Listen. Just like your first game of the season, you go out there, you got to get, if you ain't ready to take all the responsibility, then you shouldn't even be on the field. It is what it is. Tua just needs to be able to play at not the highest, but a high level on a consistent basis. And I think he has it in him as long as McDaniel keep him structured in what he's doing and not try to make him Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Mahomes. That's all I be trying to tell people. We don't have to argue anymore about how good he is or what he can be and what he can't be. We've already proven everything I've already told y'all. Tua proved it for me. He proved everything I told you about his evaluation. All of his flaws that I told you from day one, he has said out of his own mouth before. At this very moment, every single thing that I told y'all about Tua Tagovailoa, he has admitted himself. So we don't have to argue about that stuff anymore. The only thing left that's outstanding that we don't know if it's true or not, and I myself hope I'm wrong, is whether or not he can be a franchise quarterback. That's the only outstanding argument. I have been right about everything else. The only outstanding argument is whether or not he can be a franchise quarterback. And even now, even though I said no, I don't see him as a franchise quarterback, even now I see a path for him becoming one. So that has even changed for me. I actually see a path of him becoming one, but will he? Will he be the same guy that's out here just slinging it mindlessly with total disregard of the defense? Now, I always get in trouble when I say things like total disregard for the defense. Tua doesn't 100% disregard the defense. Let's get that straight first. Number one, pre-snap, he does read the defense and he knows where he needs to go with the ball pre-snap. He got that check. He struggled in that early in his career, but he got that now. Post-snap is where the issue comes. If he gets time and protection, he can go back to pass, look at a first read and come off of it and go through a few reads. He can. Now, the times that he has to, see, this is where people get bogged down. How many times does Tua have to go off of his first read? Like, get off of it. That's where people don't understand. Tua's first read is there about 70% of the time. Hike, looking at a guy, first read, or looking the safety off and then going to the first read, it's actually there about 70% of the time. So when you see him just hitting people at a high rate right away and all of that, it's already there. There's no argument about that. But what a lot of people do is they look at the execution, which is so high at 70%, that they think there's no way he's not doing everything else because he's converting at a high level. No, my only argument and what I always try to explain to you all is the other 30%. The other 30% of the time, so let's just say there's 100 plays. 70 of them, his first read is there. These are all passing plays. 70 of them, his first read is there, or he attempts it. The other 30 passes is what I try to explain to people is literally a train wreck. Does he convert sometimes? Absolutely. Especially when he's on the road and run and have to improvise. Sometimes it's find an open guy. Oh, wide open. Sometimes he hit him. Other times it's a disaster. It's an interception or something. But it's when you come off of that first read, going to the second, not saying he never can hit it, but that's where the overwhelming struggle is. So 70% of his plays, first read, he's like 70 plays, he's getting like 55 of them. He's converting 55 out of the 70 to the first read. He converts them. The other 30, he's literally converting like 10 out of the 30. That's why he's like a 65% completion percentage. So that's what I'm trying to explain to y'all. 70 plays go to his first read and he converts about 55 of them. That's excellent. The other 30 plays, he only convert about 10 of them coming off of that first read. And that's why he's around a 65% completion percentage. Even last year, 64. That's what the breakup is. And that's like 1 out of every 3. That's almost 1 out of every 3. And that's where the struggle is. And all we want to do is point out the 10 out of 30 that he does convert. Oh, look, he went there, then he went there, then he went there. Okay, every quarterback has done it. But how well do you do it on a consistent basis? Because I can show you them other 20 where it's like panic mode, where it's an interception or a dropped interception or it's just panic mode. And that's where if he just cleans it up, I think sometimes Tua needs to just calm down sometimes and just don't. Now, this is why it's tough because sometimes when he kind of, you see him like get jittery and panic, he actually makes something good happen sometimes. But then other times he get jittery and panic and it's a disaster. It's like the extreme, one end or another. He panics, he rolls up and he goes and he finds a guy in the end zone. Wow, offhand, off platform, nice. Then the next time it's, oh, he fumbled or sacked or he hurt or he threw a pick. So it's just all over the place with the other stuff. This is why McDaniel created a system where 70% of the plays, his first read will be there. McDaniel doing all of this action and all of this work. McDaniel is trying to put as much stress as he possibly can on the linebackers to cover these guys in the short and make them second guess because any crease of space or any crease of separation, Tua just has to make the quick, simple pass and try to get yak. That's what this offense is predicated off of. Is trying its very best to do. So if we can do that, I think that it's going to be real hard to stop this offense if we could just stay in that structure and stop trying to dabble out of it. Keep it in the structure because you're going to have a defense that's going to keep you in games where you're not going to be required to score as many points. That's what it's about. But yeah, I just think that that's Tua's next level. Staying in that structure. And gosh, man, if we could just like, I hate this blind window throwing and stuff. And because McDaniels even said it, you know, it works. Tua said it himself. It works for him. It's worked so much. And that's what I hate. What's bad for him has worked for him until the league don't let it work no more. Like, people don't realize, remember that play that we talk about that was like that pick and he went on the podium and said blind window throwing and stuff, whatever he said? He acknowledged, and McDaniel acknowledged, he does that all the time and it works. It's like the bread and butter. Tua said it. That's like the bread and butter. That works for me a lot. And it does. He be looking off, and then bam, I know you're supposed to be there on that slant, and I know exactly where to put it. But if the guy isn't there, crap. If the guy's off at the timing, crap. You see what I'm saying? It has worked because you're playing mindless football to where as long as the defense is focused on what you're doing, you're going to get them. That's why when the Chargers said, stop worrying about Tua, we're going to focus on Tyreek and Waddle. That's the key to their offense. Disrupt the timing. They said it. They literally said it. And we saw what happened when they did it. It was the perfect game plan. Because that type of quarterback play, as long as the timing is there, he will rip you to absolute shreds. He has practiced it a million times, putting that ball where it need to be. As long as the receiver is on his way and on time, we finna eat all day. But you disrupt that timing with the receivers, don't worry about, look at what did the defender say about the Tua pick. You did that so much to us last year. I just had to trust. I had to trust what I learned from that. I had to trust not to look at your manipulation looking right. I had to trust that. I had to trust to just drop on that. I'm not going to believe your eyes. I'm just going to drop on this because that's what my assignment's supposed to be. But if I sat there and I followed your eyes, you would have had me still. I'm going to trust it. And I'm telling y'all, half of his throws are literally those type of throws. They just been working until they haven't. Until they haven't. But how do you get out of that? They recognize that's the bread and butter. They still doing it. Tua was doing it the other night. He was doing it in the game and going right up the field and scoring. He was doing it then too. How do you get out of that? You don't. You don't. Somebody said not just Tua, bro. That's the game. See, no. See, this is what's funny. People out here writing this narrative. All quarterbacks do that. First of all quarterbacks don't do that. There are some other quarterbacks that do it, and that's why they always getting in trouble. But also, a lot of quarterbacks, they check before they throw. Like, do y'all not understand this is what Tua's doing? Let's count to 5. Hike. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On 5, he's looking and throwing. I know it'd be like 2 seconds, but I'm just doing it for exercise purposes. Other quarterbacks, they're at least turning on 4 to make sure. They hike the ball. They're trying to manipulate you. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's there. 5. That's the difference. Go look at it. Tua just hike. Bam. Other quarterbacks hike. 1, 2, 3. Look. Yeah. Confirmation. You got to confirm first. Look. You see his head straight down the field, right? It's straight down the middle of the field. Already cocked. Now, you think he confirming or he just trying to throw it up? You think he confirming? He already cocked back. Because if you confirming, you throw that away. If this is confirmation, you're going to throw it away, or you're going to dump it down to the running back in the flat. They would have got a huge gain there. You can't be confirming like this. Is that confirmation? They were in a great position on this play. They were all over it. And truth be told, he also underthrew the ball. They got something to do with his underthrown ball placement too. Because Tyreek, look at down at the bottom of the screen. Tyreek was beating the guy. But the guy was bailing. He was bailing. Tua just put it up. He underthrew it. And on top of it, no confirmation. No confirmation. So all this stuff about, well, all quarterbacks do that. Yeah, but go look at the slight detail in the mechanics. They're at least checking. Oh, Mahomes do no-look passes all the time. Nope. Go watch Mahomes no-look passes. Mahomes will be running. He will see a guy. He done already checked the surroundings and say, okay, I see my guy and where he going to end up. I see that guy, and that guy. None of them going to be able to get to that spot. So what Mahomes does, he looks off from it and throws it because he already know he done checked before it happened. Like, people don't realize a lot of it is peripheral. Mahomes be looking at a guy, he sees it. I see that they're trailing him, and he knows what I'm thinking right now. Blind throw right in the spot. They can't. He already know they can't get to it. They already know. Doug said, "Isn't that what Tua is doing?" No, because Tua never looks at first. I can see if Tua hike the ball, check, and be like, he got him. Now let me look off and then come back. No, Tua never looks. Tua never looks at the receiver to begin with. If it's a short pass, Tua's staring down the receiver a lot of times. If it's a intermediate deep, he's trying to move somebody. And Tua explained it too. You know, it didn't work out. I was trying to move somebody, but it didn't work out. You didn't move them. But you got to make sure that you move who you're trying to move first. So, TD, are you still supporting the theory that teams cannot win a Super Bowl when they pay their quarterback? I don't know if you've ever heard my theory, but when you pay a quarterback, you have a exact window. You can win a Super Bowl if you pay a quarterback like a Aaron Rodgers or like you're in a window, but it's not long-term success. You got a 2-3 year window max, depending on how everything lined up with your books. But when you're talking about drafting a quarterback and when you give them the first big deal, yeah, I'm still under a belief, unless you're just literally one of the GOATs. Unless you're one of the GOATs. Unless you're one of the GOATs. And I'm sorry, I got to be honest with y'all. This is when I explain to y'all, keep Tua in the structure and read the coverage. If you notice, everybody's bailing on defense. Everybody. Right there, if you know the play, right, you should know that you have two shallow outs. Two shallow outs right here. You float that, you're going to take a hit just like he did anyway, but you gotta figure out a way to get this to the running back underneath. But we just took the shot anyway. We took the shot anyway. Now, mind you, he had pressure in his face, and if you didn't want to check down to the running back, get rid of the football. And this is the thing that I try to explain to people when they say, oh, you just hating this and that. Did he not have other options on the play? Did he not have other options? That's what I'm trying to explain to y'all. So when you talk about reading it, there's other options. You can't predetermine on that play, I'm taking a shot to Tyreek, and I already know that. This was a predetermined based off a pre-snap where he was going with the ball. He already knew. He already knew. And post-snap, they went into something totally different. Totally different. But yeah, keep him in his structure. Right there, we'll take the check down on 1st and 10, and we're going to get 5 to 10 yards right there. And it would, well, I mean, we lucked out anyway. We didn't turn it over. You see what I'm saying? He dropped it anyway. And right here in the game, this might have been when we kicked the field goal to make it 16 to 10. And that tells you in the second half, nobody scored any more points. The game ended 16 to 10. Right here in this part of the game, I don't know if y'all knew that, but it was 13 to 10. At this point of the game, it was 13 to 10. 13-10, right before halftime. We kicked the field goal before halftime, 16 to 10. Nobody ever scored again. So yeah, in the second half was just horrible for both teams, I guess. But if we keep him in the structure, he's going to have a good season. We'll take that check down. We're going to have a good season. All right? That's what I'm saying, in other words. Okay. So I think he have it in him, and that's his new level. Also, Jonathan Taylor. He finna be a Dolphin. I've never been so sure in a long time. If this don't get done, I would be it's crazy. How? Jonathan Taylor's about to be a Dolphin. I'm telling y'all, we've already been in talks with him. We done already gave him an offer. You have multiple writers confirm that we have given an offer. That's all you need to know. You don't give an offer when you already know what you're going to have to pay him. We already know what we're going to have to pay him. You find that out before you make the offer. You gave Jonathan Taylor's team permission to talk to the other teams. Okay, cool. The Dolphins done already talked to him and his team. So that means his team done already told him, I want a new deal and this is what it's going to cost. And for the Dolphins to make an offer to the Colts, they already know what they're dealing with. They already willing to pay it. Now it's just a matter of, can they make a deal with the Colts? Stop talking about money in Jonathan Taylor. Signing Jonathan Taylor may actually give us some cap relief, because whoever we trade with the draft pick will probably actually save us money, because signing him on an extension, having his rights, and signing him on an extension will allow us to finagle his money easily. We don't have nobody else on the team we could truly restructure, but now we'd have him who we could do what we want. You could bring him in, give him an extension, and he could be a $1 million cap hit this year if you want to. So stop. Jonathan Taylor's situation, money should not be discussed. Now, is it making it tougher for us in the future monetarily? Yeah. But at this point, why care? We already in trouble 2 years from now when it comes to money. Next year, technically. But I see ways where we can get through. But 2 years from now, we letting some people go. Some big name people. But that's 2 years from now. Right now is right now. If you don't win in the next 2 years, your window's shut anyway. You got a young core for the future, then you got to build on them. It's like a semi-rebuild anyway. Putting talent around your young core, because your young core is about to get all the money. But you're bringing in Jonathan Taylor and giving him his money as the young core. We already know what it's going to cost. We've already said to ourselves, we'll pay it. Understand that, people. We already know how much his contract is going to be. We've already said to ourselves, we'll pay it. Now let's talk to the Colts. Let's see if we can make a deal, because there are things we're willing to do and what we're not willing to do as far as the actual trade. Now the hard part begins. The what they gonna pay him they ain't worrying about. They not worried about it. Now, what Chris Grier got to do is figure out a way to be able to send draft picks that's going to include some players. That's the tricky part. First of all, who the coach want? Chris Grier got to come with a list and say, here are the players that we're willing to part ways with as a part of the trade, and let's negotiate through it. Mostert need to be on that list. Jeff Wilson need to be on that list. Ahmed need to be on the list. Ogbar need to be on the list. Cedric Wilson need to be on that list. If you're gonna pay Christian Wilkins, Zyler need to be on that list because you might have found something in Peli or whatever, however you say his name. Zyler need to be on that list. Or vice versa. I don't want to say it, but I ain't saying he need to be on the list, but Christian Wilkins might be on the list. He might actually be on the list. Okay. Who else? Brandon Jones need to be on that list. Channing Tindall need to be on that list. I'll stop right there. All those guys need to be on that list. All them guys need to be on that list. And the coach had to say, I'm interested in him, or just him, or whatever, however they come to it. Chris Grier may say, you're looking for a first-round pick. We're not giving up a first, but we can come to a consensus that may be worth a first. I can give you a second-round pick and a player. I can give you a third-round pick with Mostert and Brandon Jones. You see, that type of stuff. Because I'd be shocked if Chris Grier give up a first-round pick. If Chris Grier give up a first-round pick, we got Jonathan Taylor, baby, but I ain't going to lie. Chris Grier has literally I understand screw them picks, but there's too many people that got to prove stuff for me to give up this first-round pick. Now, when you had 2 and 3, that's a different story. Now, I got to give you the most unpopular trade, and then I'll give you my popular trade. Which one you want first, popular or unpopular? But they both get the job done. Which one you want first, popular or unpopular? Popular or unpopular? Unpopular hit first. Christian Wilkins is gone. And this is where you get into a 3-team trade, 3-team deal. Christian Wilkins gets traded, but you're going to get a first-round pick and maybe some lower-round assets for him. You're also going to be bringing back an offensive lineman with the package and Jonathan Taylor. See, this is where Chris Grier, he has all type of things right now because a lot of guys may hit the waiver wire anyway, but their teams are trying to trade certain guys before the waiver wire to get something for them. In this situation, we may have to part ways with Christian Wilkins, but we're going to get a first-round pick for Christian Wilkins and some late-round compensation. That'll give us 2 first-round picks next year. And we'll be able to potentially get a nice lineman out of the deal and Jonathan Taylor, and all we're giving up is a potential second or third. Now, I know a lot of people, yes, dreamland. Yes, dreamland. It's all dreamland, but you'll be surprised if you see something like that happen. You'll be surprised if you see something like that happen. You never know. You never know. That's the unfavorable because nobody wants to see Christian Wilkins go, including me. Now, favorable, you got to get to Ogba. If you can unload Ogba, sweeten the deal, Ogba and Mostert for Jonathan Taylor. And maybe a fifth round pick. Ogba, Mostert, fifth round pick, Jonathan Taylor. You still got a back in Mostert who has value. Ogba is a good pass rusher in that system. He is a better fit, in my opinion, than what we're doing now. That's why nobody's talking about the fact that he's currently making $17 million as a backup. Yeah, let's talk about it, man. Let me check though, because they might have changed his contract. Let me double check now. I could be wrong. Here we go. As I expected, $17.2 million cap hit this year. And next year it don't get better. It's $18 million next year and $19 the year after that. Ain't no dead cap, so they're gonna cut him anyway next offseason. They're gonna cut him or restructure to a cheap deal. Because it's only $4 million dead cap next year. In 2 years, that's 2 years and 2 years. I mean, that's $2 million, $2 million. They'll eat that all day. That's nothing. But you're not paying Ogba $19 million next year and $18 million next year and $19 million the next. He ain't making it through that. So with that being said, this is the last good year of his contract because he got $21 million dead cap. And truth be told, Miami can save money now with Ogba. If they wanted to cut Ogba now, they got 3 years to spread $21 million. So that's $777 dead cap. And if they ate $7 million dead cap, that'll give us $10 million in cap space right now. $10 million in cap space. But they also, I don't think they want to eat the $7 million next year. And the $7 million a year after. Y'all might look up and they might be like, screw it, buy Ogba. But that's why you want to try to trade him. And if you could trade him because it's an expiring contract, which other teams love. Yeah, it is a restructure, but it's a restructure in our favor. We can get off of it after this year. Or we could trade it now. Ogba is the way to go. You trade Ogba, you save yourself 17 mil. Jonathan Taylor got his money. Now you just got to give up a few more things to make it happen. Ogba is Jonathan Taylor's money. Ogba is really good depth for us, but yes or no, would you part ways with Ogba in a third right now for Jonathan Taylor? Ogba in a third. Would you do it? Yes or no in the comment section. Glenn said we do not have a third or fourth round pick next year. Third year loss to Brady garbage. It's easy to get a third. It's easy. Chris Greer know what to do. Chris Greer would know what to do. And that's even if you want to do a 2022. You could do a swap. You could say, I'll give you our third round pick for 2025. And you send back the fourth round pick for 2023 or whatever, vice versa. It's easy to pick that up. He can go pick up a third easily. All you got to do is swap picks with another team and push the can down the road on the third. That's easy. And if you plan on being a playoff team anyway, where you're picking late, so you might have a second round pick where you like, I'll give you a second, just swap the third. And take Ogba in the fifth or fourth, whatever. That's easy work. That's easy work. But all I'm saying that is, if you trade Ogba in a draft pick, you got your Jonathan Taylor money. And now you got even more flexibility. Now when you bring Jonathan Taylor in and you give him the deal, you can play with his money now. Miami could look up next week, trade for him, and then all of a sudden we go from like 10 million. I don't know how much cap space we got right now. I got to check. But you could probably go from like 10 million in cap space and end up having 20 something. And now at the last minute, let me see how much cap space we got right now. This is weird. Oh, here it is. Cap space, top 51. It says 11,400,000. That's just the top 51 on the roster contracts right now. And that's why Ogbah would literally have us over 20 million. And that would put us literally about second in the NFL. Maybe even, it might put us second in the NFL. You trade Ogbah and you get off of that 17 million, we would have pretty much 28 million, which is second in the league. Do y'all know that the Browns have $34 million in cap space right now? They still got money, but they're going to carry it over for they're going to carry probably about 25 of that over next year for Watson. Everybody like, oh my gosh, Watson is a $60 million cap hit next year. They're screwed. No, they know what they're doing. They're preparing for it. They literally got 34 million right now. Next year, they're going to throw 25 of it onto next year. Now his cap hit is 35, and it's still going to be lower than some of the top quarterbacks. It's going to feel like 35. That's all they're doing. But yeah. So imagine going into the season with $28 million. You know Chris Greer going to work. He ain't going to be done. He got to go make another trade now. Now you got to go get a great lineman. Now you got to go get a lineman on an expired contract. Let Eichenberg and Jackson keep on working out until the very last minute. And you need to go ahead and bring you a real guy in if you have to. Give them every chance possible. And if you don't feel good, make that trade and use more capital and go get a lineman because we got to go for it now, y'all. He's more of a Trent Dilfer or a Brad Johnson. Listen, as long as he can win a Super Bowl, he could be Pat White. If you get that Lombardi, it don't matter to me. Glenn said, we do not have a third of, I already read that. My bad. But yeah. But I'm sorry. We got to win this Jonathan Taylor sweepstakes. 6 teams have been interested. 2 of them have made an offer, and we're one of them. 2 of them have made an offer, and we're one of them. And the real concern, really, honestly, ladies and gentlemen, the real concern is who else made a freaking offer? There's a few teams in the AFC that if they got Jonathan Taylor, it's a wrap. We one of them. If the Chiefs get him, wrap. Dolphins get him, wrap. Buffalo get him. I ain't gonna front. They might get their first one. Especially over there. If they can get them a good balanced run game, oh, I ain't gonna lie. That's a problem. If Buffalo can end up having a top run game in the league, that would be a problem. Who else? Let me see. I had some other teams. I'm running a blank. I was talking about the AFC, Dylan. I know you said Eagles, but they in it. They already in it. I heard that they've been pursuing them too. That would be nasty too in the NFC. I ain't gonna lie, that would be nasty. The Cowboys should be in it too. Yeah, but it's some teams, man. One player at running back ain't gonna make that big a difference. Listen, when you got a loaded team, everything you do as an upgrade made it can do. Like Some of y'all got to understand, everything you do makes a difference. If somebody told you before the season started that the Miami Dolphins will have the 18th best rushing game, right? And they're going to make a wild card, and hypothetically, they'll lose in the first round. Nostradamus, we don't know, but if they told you that. But then they told you that if you got Jonathan Taylor, you would have a top 5 running game. Do you think the outcome would be different? You think the outcome would be different? When you're the Chiefs, when you're the Bills, when you're the Dolphins, when you're the Jets, when you're Baltimore, when you're the Chargers right now, when you're Cincinnati, when you're all of these teams, one guy can make a difference now because all of you loaded. All of you, when you're the Browns, all these teams are loaded. Everything makes a difference. You know why? If Breece Hall didn't go down last year, the Jets would have made the playoffs and we might have been out. It wasn't just the quarterback situation. If Breece Hall didn't get hurt last year, they would have ran themselves to at least two more wins. Why you think that these teams doubling up? Breece Hall, Dalvin Cook, Ramondre Stevens, Ezekiel Elliott, they doubling up because if one go down, it makes it rough for the whole team. Now Breece Hall go out, you think they care? Right now, one guy can make a difference even if you already got a guy because injuries are going to happen. Right now, teams are loading up with depth. And the one thing Miami ain't got is depth other than the wide receiver position. Everything else we think. Everything else we thin. Thin on the D-line, thin in secondary. We technically, people don't realize how thin we are in the secondary. We got behind Xavier Howard with Ramsey out, we got a whole bunch of hopefuls. Call it what it is. Holland and X. Outside of that, a whole bunch of hopefuls. Why you think Fangio ain't the happiest right now? Why you think they keep on talking about they looking for another corner? You got 8 of them. And you still looking for one? Because y'all don't realize after X and Holland, that whole secondary is like, we got to rely on the system, not individuals. Ain't nobody outside of those 2 guys out there individually getting it like that. They not. All the people you love, no, they're not. They may make a play here and there, but they are not consistently getting it. Only position you got depth in is wide receiver after Tyreek and Waddle. And that is questionable because I'm just saying that because I like Chosen. Because most teams only got a Tyreek and a Chosen as a 1-2. That's the normal. It's just as of late, these teams been gearing up with 2 or 3 big-time receivers. And the crazy thing is, when you look at these teams, we're one of the – man, this is where I don't be meaning to hurt Dolphin fans' feelings. This is just the reality. We're exposed in depth. We sitting here talking Super Bowl. You got to hope everybody stay healthy. And the truth of the matter is it's just unrealistic. That's the problem we have on this roster. That's the issue. Y'all talk about the Bengals. Oh, well, he got 3 great receivers. That's the point. One go down, they still straight. Tyreek go down, we can't act like we the Bengals and we all great. X go down, man, sound the freaking fire alarm. Holland go down, nobody talks about that, but if Javon Holland goes down, Man, that secondary getting toasted from here to Timbuktu. Malachi said, to be fair, that's most teams, not just Miami. Not most contenders. You don't hear what I'm saying to you? Man, go look at the Jets' whole defensive front. They truly are 10 strong. Like, no lie. Defensive end go out, no problem. We got about 3 more of them that can start. Defensive tackle go out, no problem. They ain't quitting, but we'll be all right. It's all, and I agree. All teams have depth issues in some areas, but where? Where is important? You don't want to have depth issues in the trenches. Our starting O-line is already questionable. Talk about the trenches. You know, our defensive line, great. At the one person at every position go out, the backup, no sir. No sir. No sir. That's why you hope guys like Peli comes on strong. Ogba, they've been playing him inside and outside. They don't even know what they want to do with him. That's why I'm telling y'all they'll be looking at that. But yeah, it's where you don't have depth. Linebackers, we ain't even say. See, that's another problem. We're over here talking about depth when our starting units, we have issues. Our linebacking core still ain't what we desire technically. Thank God for David Long, but he got to get his act together in Fangio's system in the secondary. This ain't Tennessee. Tennessee, they straightforward. They sending him. They being aggressive with him. They got him chipping and bumping people and all of that. He knows his role. In Fangio's system, you can do it on some plays, but other plays, they need you to follow your assignment. And that's where Fangio's still like, he's a great player, but, you still have to correct him on certain things. And it's solely the pass game, y'all. And here's the thing. He can cover. David Long can actually cover. The problem is he ain't really covering in this system. It's a system. So his reaction in the system in the secondary ain't been the best in camp. It ain't been the best in camp. So anyway, man, back to it. Listen, Greer already know the price. He good with it. Now he just got to figure out how he can get the deal done. And I don't think Greer at this point want to be outbid. Let me tell you something. Greer going to get him because Greer know I done did all this. I done pumped up the fan base, but they still got a little bit of doubt. They still got a little reservations, and rightfully so. And he know it deep down. He knows it. He see what everybody else doing. But this is a chance for him to one-up them. Ezekiel Elliott, I see that, but we ain't worrying about it. Cook, ooh, y'all got him. Okay. Dang, that's 2 in the division. Oh, watch this. I'm about to one-up them and shut the whole thing down. That's what Greer lives for. That's what he lived for. Greer about to get it done because it's a show for him. It's a show. This right here. Let me tell y'all what Greer's, if it all don't work out, Greer is banking now. If he go get Jonathan Taylor, let me tell you what Greer banking on. What you want me to do? I did everything possible. If it all don't work, Greer is building his excuse. I did all I could to build a winner. I went out, I went and got dogs. Greer getting Jonathan Taylor is putting more focus on Mike McDaniel because now the media and everybody else who don't like Mike McDaniel anyway because the way he talked, let's just be honest, that's something that ain't talked about much either. The media, they'll turn on Mike McDaniel quick. The day we get Jonathan Taylor, you're going to see him on national TV. Hey, McDaniel has weapons people could only dream of. If he don't get this done, then he ain't a great coach. He ain't a great coach. Y'all know what y'all, man, Greer is a shrewd. I'm telling you, Jonathan Taylor gonna be here. Greer, like, yeah, that's a player that'll give me an out. Greer will protect himself at all costs. Jonathan Taylor will protect him. I gave you Teron Armstead, one of the top in the position. Xavier Howard, Jalen Ramsey, injuries. Hey, they ain't got no. I gave them to you. You got Tyreek Hill, you got Jalen Waddle, you got Connor Williams, you got Robert Hunt, you got David Long, you got Jalen Phillips, you got Bradley Chubb. You got Christian Wilkins, Zyler. Like, for real. Did you just hear all that? You got Javon Holland. That's 12 big-time players right there. T. Rich said, you got Tua. You got Tua. Man, I'm just saying. Who gonna blame Greer? If we win 5 games, who gonna blame Greer? Nobody. You win 9 games, who gonna blame Greer? If you win 1 game, who gonna blame Greer? The media is gonna destroy Mike McDaniel. All of that sophisticated talking ain't getting no wins and stuff, and he out here, yeah, he was living off of talent last year. And then they're gonna be bringing up Flores. Truth be told, Flores did more with less. And it'll be true. That man, Mike McDaniel was the easiest scapegoat if that man go get Jonathan Taylor. And I ain't even mentioned Taylor in that list. He will be the easiest scapegoat. We will literally be looking for a coach next year. You win 6, 7 games. You will literally be looking for a coach next year. We win 6, 7 games. If you get Jonathan Taylor. Man, we getting Jonathan Taylor. This is right in Chris Greer's playbook. That's why I'm confident. I know if anybody know Chris Greer, I know Chris Greer. We'll see. Well, even if we don't get him, trust me, Chris Greer was trying. He was trying hard. A day after it comes out, we done already made an offer. A day after it happens, we done already made an offer. Man, Chris Greer know what time it is. Chris Greer like, they get rid of Jonathan Taylor. Oh, that's 10 more years for me. Let's go make this offer. That's 10 more years for me. You can't blame me. You cannot blame me. Man. TD, how many wins with Taylor? I'm thinking, because right now I got us at 9 without him. Surprise ceiling 11. Floor 7. We'll win 9. But with Jonathan Taylor, 12. 12 wins. Remember the schedule this year. Don't look at it from last year. Remember the schedule this year. It's tough. If we had last year's schedule, I would have told you 15. I would have said 15. Jonathan Taylor gonna get us 12 wins. 12 wins. Floor 10, max 14. So 12. And guess what? You'll be playing at home in the first round. Finally! And you'll get your first round win. After that, we'll see. Yeah. JT is not 3 games better than Mostert. You can lie to yourself all you want. You can lie to yourself all you want. Let me tell you something about Mostert, Jeff Wilson, and the rest of them guys. They can get their runs. They can, pick up yards and move the chains. But they missing that big playability. That's the one thing about our backs. How many times have you seen them break like Ricky Williams, Ronnie Brown, or Jay Ajayi? How many times in the season did you see the 60-yard run? That's the one thing that's missing with the backs we got. So miss me with that. They good backs. They keep the chains moving. But you want to put some pressure on the team, rack them points up. Fast. Fast. How many times in the season you saw the big run? The big one. That's the one thing watching the Miami Dolphins you ain't ever getting with these guys. Like, really, I don't even know what the stat is. But I can guarantee you it probably ain't happened more than 2 or 3 times in the season. And that might be stretching it just not to be wrong. Just not to be wrong. I don't remember a run over 50 yards all season. I'm sure we probably got 2 or 3, but we probably ain't got none. But I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, you may do something catching the ball out the backfield, but running that rock, matter of fact, let's do it. Let me go look at them, and I want to look at they long on the season. Hold on. Yeah, let's do that. Let's look at they long. Give me a second. No, I don't want no sponsor. I'm trying to. Now, give me a second. This thing acting up. All right. All right. Let me see. Let me go to Pro Football Reference. Cause I ain't gonna lie, I'm making this accusation and I could be wrong. I'm just thinking back at the season. I don't remember it happening. Okay. Hey, what's wrong with this thing? This ain't showing me, man. Give me a second, y'all. I'll find it. Ah, here we go. Uh, gosh, why is this so hard to find? Okay, here we go. NFL.com tell you how many they had. All right. Last year, Raheem Mostert had one run over 40 yards. One run all season over 40 yards. All right. So Mostert, we got one. I don't know what run that was, but he got one over 40 yards. Let's go to the next player. All right, who's the next player? Jeff Wilson. All right, let's go to NFL. Here we go. Stats. Jeff Wilson. Oh no, this ain't the right one. Hmm. Oh Lord. Dang, this can't be real. Was Jeff Wilson's longest run last year 14 yards? 8 games. 84 attempts, 302. His long was 14 yards. It's saying 14 right here as a long. I don't know. Oh man, I ain't got time to do this. I don't think I proved the point. I believe I proved the point. That's the issue. That's what we need on this team. A guy who can make the explosive play. Do you remember Dalvin Cook in Minnesota versus us? Do you remember that big run he made? You need a guy who can do that. We ain't got that guy. Oh, A-Chain, stop talking about rookies. Until they do it, I don't care. I don't get all into the minutia of rookies. Until they actually do it, stop. Well, that's what A-Chain. That's why we drafted A-Chain. Same thing you said last year about that's why we drafted Channing Tindall. Ain't even get on the field. That's why we got Hunter Long. Ain't get on the field. $28 is Edmonds and Wilson Long. Yeah, man. We need the big time run. We need the big time run. And that's what Jonathan Taylor, he has the potential of breaking one. We all know it. We all know it. So at the end of the day, dang, I'm shocked. What time is this? 11:30 and we got almost 500 people in here? Oh, y'all ready for football, baby. Y'all ready for football. And it's funny to me because you know what? Let me not make the assumption. Do you think Miami gonna land Jonathan Taylor? Yes or no? In the comment section. Let me stop making assumptions. Yes or no in the comment section. You think the Miami Dolphins gonna land Jonathan Taylor? Let me know in the comment section. Let's see where y'all at with it. No, yes. Gut says no, but we need it. I hope, but I don't think so. No. I want him, but no. No. Ooh, we got a lot of those. Y'all really like, dang. I didn't expect to have this many. Yeah, let me do the poll. Because now I'm getting a few mixes. Let me do the poll. Y'all fill out the poll. Fill out the poll instead. That'll be better. Fill out the poll. I gotta see this. Let's get at least 200 votes, man. Fill out the poll real quick for me if you can. I ain't asked you if you want them. I said, do you think we're going to get them? I'm not asking whether or not you want them. I'm asking you, do you think we will get them? Wow, we already got over 100 votes and it's 51-49. 50-50 right now. Man. Wow. This is mind-blowing. 53% say yeah, 47 no. Not whether you want them or not. Do you think it's going to happen? We got them. Let's get 200 votes. We got 140 right now. Let's get 200 before I can close it. We got 500 people watching. So, and hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe right now. We breaking numbers. We're at 25,350. Let's get to 25,400. So 50 more to go. Just like the votes, we need 50 more votes. 54% yes, 46 no. Break the analysis down, TD. I will. TD, what would happen if we get him and we end up having bad rush attack? What would happen to Greer then? That's why I think we will get him. It's going excuse me, it's going to come down to the O-line. It's going to come down to the O-line. TD, it's the Greer factor, man. He can wheel and deal, man. They would need to take some salary on return, though. Listen, let's be clear. This notion that Chris Greer can wheel and deal, I personally believe is just false. Do you think you got a wheel and deal to give the Kansas City Chiefs all of that draft capital for Tyreek Hill when they weren't going to pay him anyway? Like, ladies and gentlemen, let's think about that. The Kansas City Chiefs gave him an offer and said, this is what we're giving you. We're not giving you a penny more. And he was like, at least meet me halfway. They were like, no, we'll trade you if you want. And we gave up all of that for a player they weren't finna give the money to anyway. That ain't wheeling and dealing. You straight up gave the money for Bradley Chubb when they had his replacement behind him playing just as well. A lot of people don't realize. That ain't wheeling and dealing. That's paying. You're actually overpaying. What did we give for Jalen Ramsey? On an expired contract and you had to give him more money? That ain't wheeling and dealing. And all of these guys, you overpaid them what most teams would pay. Teams weren't going to pay Tyreek that money. Tyreek even told you, I would have been with the Jets, but they were too cheap. Greer didn't outbid the Jets. Greer's offer was like $5 million more than what they were willing. That ain't outbidding. Outbidding is $500,000 or $1 million more, and you ain't got to deal with taxes. Greer could have said $25 million, and it would have been more than the Jets because of the taxes. That ain't outbidding. Straight overpaying in a state that ain't even got state tax. It's not wheeling and dealing. It's quite easy. I'm going to give you as much capital as you want, and I'm going to pay the player what they want. That's not hard. TD could have did that. I could have did that. Tyreek, I give you $30 million. I could have did that. You think he was going to turn it down? No, this notion that he wheels and deals. No, he's just throwing around our capital and our future. We could have had more. Now, you want to really talk about the insults of this trade? Do y'all really want to talk about the insults of this trade? Y'all ready for me to hit you with a little dagger of truth? The insult of the Jonathan Taylor situation is that he was on the board when we drafted Noah Igbenogany. You can't make this up. He was on the board with when we drafted Noah Igbenogany. And we were all screaming, oh, we finna get Jonathan Taylor. Noah Igbenogany. Oh my gosh. Trust me, when it comes to Chris Greer, listen to me. I'm not a career hater. I admire his ability to survive. But if you want to break that man down, I have studied every move he has ever made. Oh, that's old news, TD. Of course, we remember that. But we talk about Grimmy wheeling and dealing. You would have never had to wheel and deal. You would never have to give up this draft capital. Now you got annoying monogamy. Who, let's be honest, we out here building them up in training camp, and Noah's still getting toasted. Let's tell the truth. He's still out here getting toasted. Listen, we got, like, you spent the draft pick on Noah. Now you got to go give up draft picks to go get Jonathan Taylor. You could have already had this man for the low. Tua could have already had some great structure in his game if he would have had a Jonathan Taylor. Tua would not be criticized as much as he had been had you already had Jonathan Taylor, because you wouldn't have required Tua to do as much as you need him to do now. Chris Grier has continuously failed to make the right moves that will give Tua the protection and just success that he should have had all three of his first seasons. Chris Grier, honestly, is the real culprit to anything negative to him. It wasn't Flores. Y'all can think that all you want. Chris Grier. Flores was just a hard-nosed coach that was getting up in them. That's how some coaches are. But Chris Grier never went and got the real guys that could really make Tua's transition in the NFL much more smoother, to the point to where we would trust his development year by year by year. I'm just saying. My opinion. So 58% feel like we're going to get him. 42% say no. That's pretty strong for no's, but I understand people's reservation. Some of y'all saying no because we done already got all this. Like, come on, wishful thinking. It ain't gonna happen though. I get it. We done already put an offer out, and this ain't a Dalvin Cook situation. We already know what we're gonna have to pay. We're not lowballing. We're not gonna lowball Jonathan Taylor. We already know what he wants, and we already agreed to it. Now it's just a matter of, can they make a deal with the Colts? Can they make a deal with the Colts? Can the Colts take what we're offering? Will they be willing to accept what we're willing to give? That's what it comes down to. That's simple. All right, Malachi said, my thing is this. Why not pay for Cook instead of giving up a player, draft capital, and having to pay JT? Well, I already told y'all. I gave y'all the scoop on Dalvin Cook. There was multiple reasons that made the Cook situation tough for the Dolphins. I told y'all at the last minute, I believe that we probably going to get Cook because of the same reason I feel like we're going to get Jonathan Taylor. This is the structure. Well, from what we've seen in training camp, they need a great run game for us to really have success, y'all. That's what y'all need to come to understand. Based off of what's been transpiring in training camp, we need to invest in a run game because our offensive line run blocks way better than they pass block. That's number one. Number two, it will take a lot of what you require of Tua off of his plate. Because I am telling you now, Tua has not taken the next level. And maybe it was unfair to think that he could, because that's on a whole nother stratosphere. Not to say the level that he is at his best is bad now. It's not. But what I'm saying to you is, he's not, it ain't like he's eclipsed and got into the shelf with Mahomes. It ain't like he's gotten in one of those shelves. That's not the case. So stop putting a team around him where you're asking him to be Mahomes, because that's what you're doing. So how do you make it so that he doesn't have to be Mahomes? You gang up on as many weapons as you can to take some of the pressure off. You don't think so? A lot of those underthrown balls and a lot of those passes aren't bailed out by Tyreek. That's what you call gaining up talent that can compensate for any flaws. And you bring in a running back who can really head this group and you can lean on it. Like when you play the Chargers and they shut down, they bumping Tyreek and Waddle, and you got see, if you had Jonathan Taylor, Tua would have never looked bad against the Chargers because you just keep handing the ball off. You just keep on handing the ball off. By the third quarter, when you realize ain't nothing working, you just keep handing the ball off. Because it's so funny that in some of the games where Tua looked his worst, we actually ran well, but we abandoned it. Some of Tua's worst games, we actually ran the ball well, and we just abandoned it because Mike McDaniel out on a mission to prove that Tua is Mahomes. I mean, he ain't on that mission, but I'm making a point here. He on a mission to prove something. And that ain't what we need him to do. We need him to be on a mission to win games. Just my thoughts. Wouldn't have lost against no Chargers last year. You had Jonathan Taylor, because if you got Jonathan Taylor, now you can't abandon the run. So you could play around with Mostert and all of those guys and disrespect them and then wait till after the season over and apologize. I'm sorry to my running back unit. You know, I got to go to y'all more. Yeah, you can't play that game with no Jonathan Taylor. Everybody going to notice, and they're going to look at you like you crazy every time you have a Chargers game like that. It ain't going to be, oh, Tua had a bad game. See, they can say that now because you trust your receivers more than your running backs. You bring Jonathan Taylor, you can't do that. You got to trust both. You got to have a balanced game. You can't, man, come on, man. Just imagine that. You got a Jonathan Taylor on the roster, and he keep on throwing the ball against a defense that ain't allowing you to. And you just keep doing it like he did last time. Man, he'll get crucified. And Jonathan Taylor would force him to hand that ball off. Because having a guy like that, you'd be a fool not to keep on trying. What you think San Francisco do? They hand that ball off heavily, man. People don't recognize that. But yeah. But the Dalvin Cook situation, yeah, you also got to look at his off the field situation. Miami done got too much of that going on, so they ain't need more. That off the field situation was bigger than people making it out to be. I mean, Dalvin Cook out here offering the woman money to not say nothing. And she refusing it. She like, nope. And she going through the process. So that's something the Jets going to have to worry about eventually. But lucky them, they ain't going to have to worry about it until next season. Because the NFL, once the season starts, they don't be handing down stuff until like next year. Lucky for them. So I get it. It's going to be more expensive, but you also got a running back that's 24. How old is Dalvin Cook? How old is Dalvin Cook? This is a 24-year-old running back. On a rookie deal, still coming off of it, you got flexibility. Dalvin Cook wasn't going to give you no flexibility in cap. Jonathan Taylor getting a 4-5-year deal off rip, and now you can finagle the money and play around with it. Dalvin Cook wasn't giving you that. You just had to straight up give him what you was going to give him. And he was a rental anyway. He was a rental anyway on an expire. 28, about to be 29. 2 years and that's it. Jonathan Taylor is your future. Those two got totally different values. Jonathan Taylor's money value is 2.5 times what Cook about to make. And his draft value, first of all, the Vikings couldn't even get nothing for Cook. Jonathan Taylor on the other end, being so young, his value is huge. Huge. Next super chat. We need to go get an offensive line. A running back with will be pointless, right? We have to stop the cap, people. Wait, did we forget Christian Wilkins? Well, we do need to go get offensive linemen. I agree with that. but we still got 2.5 weeks before the season starts. Chris Greer's also being patient, waiting on that waiver wire. Also, Jonathan Taylor's one of those backs that with this, and again, let's get something straight. This O-line actually can run block. This is what a lot of y'all not realizing. You can sit there, oh, this O-line bad. Only for Tua. This O-line can run back. Matter of fact, this O-line is probably going to be a top 10 run blocking O-line, in my opinion. I believe it. They can run block. They actually can run block. But that ain't what we pay attention to, because we just want to know what they can do for Tua. So, yeah, we need offensive linemen for Tua, protection. But running the ball, I'm telling y'all, we straight. The problem is we just got backs that'll get to the second level, make a move on occasions, and then get tackled for 10, 15, at best 20 on occasions on a defensive breakdown. But we need a back that's going 40, 60. We don't have that. And sometimes you need it. This line hasn't shown to be a problem creating lanes for the running backs to get to the next level. Why do you think our guys listen, our guys average 5 yards a carry now without the big game? Huh? What's it? My bad. Wife was asking about the baby bottle. Our running backs average like 5 yards a carry now. And that's without the home runs. Dalvin Cook averaged less with the home run. Or the same with the home run. My bad. But that's the problem. That's the difference. Our offensive line can run block. This ain't the freaking Kalen Ballage and Kenyon Drake O-line. It's not. Y'all forget where we came from. We take a poop on this O-line simply because of their pass blocking. Now, is the run blocking perfect? No. But this O-line is good enough to sustain a nice run game with the Jonathan Taylor. Argue with yourself. We'll see. But Chris Greer, it's the 72 O-line. I don't know. We'll see, man. We shall see. Time always tells, ladies and gentlemen. What is that? Shout out to Brock Brodson and Zach Santola. Appreciate y'all, man. He said, for what Tua's new level, he's listen, I appreciate y'all, fellas. Frieza Jr. said, all right, now chill, TD. I was with you until you said that about the O-line. Jonathan Taylor would have his worst years behind this line, especially without Armstead. Now you're talking without Armstead, but we can't operate off of that assumption. So you mean to tell me that Jonathan Taylor can't average 5 yards a carry with this O-line, but every other back on the roster now can? Make it make sense, people. Help me. Help me right now. Are y'all telling me that Jonathan Taylor can't average 5 yards a carry behind this line when Mostert and Jeff Wilson can? Is that what we're saying? Or do we think that he would be a better back behind this line? Even if it's only a little bit better because the line is bad. But at a minimum, he'll still be better. And even if you want to say the same, but you did say he would have his worst years behind this line. His worst years may still be better than what we have now. So I'm trying to make what you said right at the same time. His worst years may still be an upgrade than what we're doing now. Oh, man. Exactly. If Raheem had 900, Taylor could easily get 12. Let me tell you something. Our O-line benefits from the scheme in the run game. Our run game is going to always produce because of our scheme. Our scheme holds the linebackers at bay. And it also makes the defensive ends hesitate. Why? Because we send guys in motion on 80% of our plays. Ripping up, ripping back, coming halfway and going back. That's linebackers all day. I want to shoot this gap, but if he comes back, that's my assignment. Which one are you? That hesitation alone is why Mostert and those guys are productive enough. Man, you give Jonathan Taylor that hesitation you want to, we be taking him to the house all day. You'll be taking them to the house all day. I'm telling y'all, man. You can find reasons to not like this, but in my opinion, you be missing out on the vision of what we really can be. What we really can be as a team. Just imagine what you saw with Ahmed happening with the first unit on a regular basis. You got a running back picking up 150 yards a game, 200 yards on occasions. Bad game is 80 or 90. Like right now, our running backs, a great game is be like 80 something. Yeah, but one of them broke off a very nice game once, but the normal is like 80. We need a guy who having multiple great games of 120 or better. Time will tell. TD, please remind the people that don't want Jonathan Taylor how many games we lost because we could not convert 4th and 1. That's a great point, but another great point is he's young, man. I just can't get off of the fact that the man is 24 years old, and we ain't even seen his prime yet, technically. He still got fresh legs because year 2 or something like that, he dealt with that injury. TD must be on that stuff. Like, I don't get it. What stuff am I on to be promoting Jonathan Taylor? Like, who wouldn't? Most are the beast, TD. Fine. And if he a beast, then what's Jonathan Taylor? Like a goon to a goblin. Nothing. You ain't scaring nothing. Dennis Rodman. I'm telling y'all, if Mostert is a beast, then what is Jonathan Taylor? Running backs age and dog years. Guess what? Jonathan Taylor still got a good 3 in him there. Remember, he fresh in the legs. He had that injury early on. Dennis Rodman, good save. You know, YouTube, they ain't finna cut me off. You're gonna hurt someone's feelings. If If I hurt anybody's feelings, I'm sorry. Hey, I edited it. All right. I think we got one more. Dang, chat killed me after saying that. What was it you said again? All right, now chill, TD. I was with you until you said, "Oh, man, it's all good. I appreciate you, homie. Even showing love with the donation, man. It's all conversation. Don't ever feel like you're getting killed because I rebutted something you said on this show, man. It makes good conversation, and we get to talk through it. Now, if you still feel the way you feel after my point, we can debate it. But I think everybody sees the point. I love the late night true telling keeps spitting the facts. I appreciate that, man, because I'm trying to get my podcast off the ground, and I'll be doing that late nights. I might have to mix it up because the podcast I'm only probably gonna do like twice a week, and I'm gonna let people send in stuff they want me to talk about. So stuff that's happening in the world, everything, keep it juicy. And hey, y'all know me, I'm filter free. I'll tell you my honest truth um about everything. So no matter how controversial or crazy it is, if you send it to my inbox, I'm gonna go through them and see some of the best ones, and I'm gonna talk about them. Look, TD, we need O line. We have firepower already, bro. Yeah. But you can never have enough. Okay, Dolphin fans. You got firepower already, and bam, Tyreek out for the season, week 1. Now what you got? How you feel about your firepower now? Anybody? Tyreek, bam, gone for the year. How you feel about your firepower now? Huh? Oh yeah, you got Waddle. Are we back to the Flores days with Devontae Parker? Yeah. Play you won't. Play you won't. Play with it you won't. Y'all already know. Listen, if you think Waddle is the number one that's gonna carry a team, stop. He'll be great with a duo. Why I got to be Tyreek? Because he said we got enough weapons or whatever already. One of them go out and you already like, oh, we should have had Jonathan Taylor. Tyreek isn't the whole team. Then why, when the Chargers shut him down, it looked like it? Why, when San Francisco shut him down, it looked like it? We ain't talking about the touchdown out of the pile. No. Why, when the teams that shut him down, it looked like he was all we had? Please answer. Please answer. If Tyreek don't get off, this team don't get off. That's just how it works. Kill the messenger. Look, TD, we need O-line. We have firepower already, bro. Oh. He just said, man, they killed me for that. Hey, you keep on putting stuff. Let me see something. Let me check something out real quick. It ain't gonna let me pull it up for y'all. Let me try one other way. All right, got it. Bam. Let me put this down. Dang, it ain't letting me share the screen for it. Hold on, y'all. Dang. I'll edit it tomorrow and play it for y'all. Anyway, I'll surprise you with it. Okay, you changed my perspective there. Good point. No, no. I ain't always right. I ain't always right. You're the man, TD. Good night. All right, bro. Appreciate you. Listen, I'm gonna get out of here myself. I told the wife I'm gonna do a quick hour show. Just go chop it up with the fam. It ended up being 2 hours and 5 minutes plus. So that's when you're having them great conversations. We literally had like 500 people in here this late at night. That's crazy. Just imagine the season about to be wild this year. It's about to be wild. Another thing before I go, let me just say this before I get out of here. Well, first off, thank y'all, all y'all who hit me up in the Cash App, showing love, donations via Cash App, because it stretches way better. It goes a long way. Because YouTube take pretty much 60% of, well, 40% of everything y'all donate. So those people that been hitting me up in the chat, Cash App, thank y'all so much. And those who do donate on the channel, it's all good. I appreciate y'all too. But I gotta say this before we leave. Excuse me. I know y'all probably getting tired of me saying it. But I humbly want to say thank y'all, man. Um, for rocking with this channel. Thank y'all for accepting me being honest, even if you disagree sometimes. Um, God has continued to bless me and my family, and I'm just grateful for it. Even opportunities that's been coming my way. Um, just it's overwhelming, the constant opportunities that's been coming. Even another one today. It's just insane. I'm just grateful, but I couldn't if it wasn't for y'all. I don't never want y'all to think that, oh, I done did this and I done did that. I couldn't if it wasn't for y'all. I couldn't. So thank y'all for the love. Thank you for the support. Thank you for seeing through all the crap of people that attack me to try to bring me down. I thank y'all for rocking with this channel, man. It's man, and I pray prosperity and blessings on every single one of you guys. All right. Love y'all. Y'all get y'all some sleep. Fins up no matter what. We're gonna get Jonathan Taylor. It's gonna happen early next week or something. Um, salute to you all, man. We got your back. Thank y'all. You're doing a fantasy league this year. D hug all day. Maybe it'll be at the last minute if I do. I'm still thinking through that. All right. Um, I'll let you know probably within the next week and a half. Things move quick in our fantasy league, so we'll see. We'll see. All right. Um, the coach gave him until Tuesday to make a deal. Well, I don't think the coach gave him until Tuesday. I think they're giving him till Tuesday to know, because they want to move. They want to go ahead and know what the deal is going to be, whether they're going to trade him or not by Tuesday. Because remember, those final cuts have to happen. Does it happen typically on Tuesday or something like that? They got to know if they're going to be taking on other players or not and what the cuts are going to be. So, because after this week, those cuts happen like pretty fast this year. So, I think we're going to know. We'll know in like 5 days, y'all. We're going to know in five. Like, there is a timeline here. There is a timetable. Whoo! Super Bowl, baby, we going. We get Dalvin Cook. I'm finna get out of here, man. Y'all gonna keep me all night. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Fins up no matter what. Y'all stay blessed. All right. Peace. I'm out.